So einer kraftig Sie noch mal das symbolische Biathlon vor. Jetzt!
Sì, poi passi dall'altra parte, non aggressivo perché è ghiacciata, va bene? Dai, bocca al lupo.
Einige Minuten nur vor dem Start. 2,5 sind es jetzt noch, 2,5 minutes to the start. 4 minutos z połowiny. Da, nadciała łąki. Wir erwarten also nach jetzigem Stand 57 Athletinnen am Start. 10 Kilometer die Distanz, 4-mal wird geschossen, 2-mal liegen, 2-mal stehen. Die Schwede, die mit dem 10. Platz im Sprint im besten Weltcup-Resultat überhaupt gesehen hat. Die erste Athletin kommt zum Start, das sind die Ergebnisse seit Jahren. Kaiser Meckerin in Blau unterschreibt, Startmann ist da und bereit. Noch mit der Wärmejacke auch schon diejenige, die den Wettkampf eröffnet, aus Tschechien, Gabriela Kokalova.
Good afternoon and a very warm welcome from the winter wonderland that is Oberhof. And for the first time, we're getting this real wintry conditions. Natural snow, but bitterly cold at -10. Well, here it is, Oberhof, the former East German Biathlon Center so many years ago. Oberhof, great facilities, just 2 hours to the east of Frankfurt. And we're just about to start the women's pursuit competition. All getting lined up and ready as I speak. We're only at 800 meters here in the Thuringen Mountains. Often it's difficult conditions here. If it's not the wind, it's the fog. And today it really is about the wind. As I said, -10 with 15 kilometers of wind sweeping over the range, sweeping over the tracks. It's bitterly cold. The race about to get underway, and Kokalova, from her time yesterday, she has a 21-second advantage over Mäkirainen, and they are only separated by 1 point in the overall World Cup standings. If either of these two win today, they will move ahead of Dahlmeier, who is not taking part today. Maybe, I've heard maybe she'll take part tomorrow in the mass start, but unlikely. Mäkirainen, there she goes, 21 seconds, the deficit. She set the fastest ski time yesterday, and she'll be trying hard to close it down. Dorana Baer only 3 seconds after Mäkirainen. Chevalier next with a great shooting yesterday, 10 out of 10, and it goes on and on. Hammerschmidt 36 behind, 47. Coming up soon, Dorothy Vera ready to go, ready to break free. And we have 9 athletes in the first minute, then all the way back down to position 37 in the next minute. So the race is very tight, and I'm sure we'll see some packs working together on the track with these strong winds. Guzik ready in the warm-up pen. Pegrushna has already gone. Number 10 ready to unleash, and that's Shardine Schloof. You may recognize her name. She used to race for Holland, but now, after a year out, which is necessary if you change nationality, she's racing for Sweden. Daria Domracheva, good to see her. She wasn't overly happy about yesterday, but I think she did well, picking up 3 World Cup points, made 37th position, and after 655 days away from the tour, the triple Olympic medalist is at least back in action, and I think we'll see more from her today. There she is, her mother looking after her little baby, Xenia, who was born only on the 1st of October. So she's back in racing form already. 2 minutes behind, 2 minutes and 3 seconds actually behind for Domracheva. She missed 2 targets yesterday. There she goes. Let's see if any of that old spark has returned. Can she hit more targets? If she can, she will certainly move up the rankings. Domracheva already, from my taking, she's looking slightly more reactive, more sparky than she did yesterday. Well, out on the track, it's only 800 meters, but it's been an awful lot of climbing. Kukalova, her great discipline yesterday. As she said, she chose her tactics wisely yesterday. She said many times that when she feels full of energy at the beginning of a race, she goes far too fast on the first lap. And then she has nothing, by her own admission, she's nothing on the last lap. Yesterday, that changed. We saw her take it really easy the first time round. Look at this corner. And this will be tricky when so many are so close together as the race progresses. But beautifully approached there by Kukalova, and a beautiful exit line too. So Mäkäräinen, killing her speed with great respect. The women's pursuit is not quite as aggressive on these corners as we saw some of the men. And I suppose you really don't want to fall there. We saw a number of the men earlier today falling there. You lose some 10, 15 seconds, you risk breaking your rifle. So I think a little bit of caution is necessary. Beautifully controlled there by Chevalier. The Alpine nation's always strong on the tough and technical downhill sections. Dorothy Veer, another one who was brought up on Alpine skis, and it really looked like she can handle the speed, the pace as you're coming into that bend at 60, 65 kilometers an hour. Well, a little battle already on the track. Hammerschmidt just going past Chevalier, and a lot of the German home pressure will be on her shoulders today. Can she cope with it? For her sake, I hope so. She certainly did last year in Ruhpolding. She was second in the sprint. She remained second the next day in the pursuit competition. So has anybody managed to close down? Mäkäräinen has pulled back just 0.5 of a second on Kukalova. So Kukalova is definitely attacking today more aggressively than we saw her yesterday on the first lap. Chevalier just coming up for the split time. Hammerschmidt deciding in these strong winds it's maybe a better option to stick in behind her. Well, earlier today in the men's race, I won't give you the positions, but I can tell you the difficult shooting conditions only allowed for 2 people, 2 out of the best 60 in the world, to hit 19 out of 20 targets fired at, and only 2 others missed just 2 targets. The rest were 3s, 4s, 5s, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way up to 10 penalties. That's really expensive if you're going round the 150-meter penalty loop, as it's called, 10 times. Well, 1.5 kilometers added on to your total ski performance today. Guzik, the Polish team, after the Christmas break, have come back strong with Guiston, the oldest campaigner in the field. She's 37. She finished 8th yesterday. And Guzik, 11th. She's 33-year-old, vastly experienced. And we're just picking up on Daria Domracheva, that beautiful floating skiing technique she has in red, bib 37. Well, this is where the athletes are all clumped together. Very, very small margins between position 10 and position 40. Just over a minute with those 40 athletes. Now, if any one of them misses one target or two targets, you can go from 9th all the way back to nearly 40th position, depending on how those around you perform. So Mäkäräinen just has pulled half a second back on Kukalova. Dorana Bear is skiing with Mäkäräinen for the all-important World Cup yellow bib, which Dahlmeier has, but she's not here today. Zdeněk Vítek, cold but anxiously looking down his scope. He'll be looking to see the fall of the shot so that he can inform his coaches on the track if there's any adjustments needed to be made to the rifle for the next time. He can't tell her this time. That was slightly low. I thought Kukalova would take her time. This will give an opportunity for Mäkäräinen and Dorana Bear to pull some time back. So accurate. Each one of those shots were about 10 mils from the bottom of the golf ball size target. Just 10 mils from the bottom. The fourth shot was dead center, and the fifth one's down. Great job. Confidence builder first time in. Now, Mäkäräinen has missed one. Dorana Bear has missed one. She's got the rest though, so moving forward for Dorana Bear. Mäkäräinen will be aware that Dorana Bear got the last shot. She also got the last shot. Opportunity, Chevalier, Hammerschmidt, Dorothy Vera, who will shoot fast, I'm quite sure, even though it's very windy. Well, listen to the spectators. So happy to see those targets from Hammerschmidt going down. They all went down. Chevalier matched her, and Dorothy Vera one to go. Great shooting from this chasing pack. Now Pegrushina, Ammonier, Guiston, Akimova lined up side by side. Akimova started 1 minute 22 behind. If she gets 5, she certainly will move in terms of position up the ranking, as will each of these three. Guisdon already has missed 2, so experienced, and I think that is an indicator of how difficult it is today. The wind has just dropped down a little, so as we watch some more of the shooting, look at the poor shooting. Sloof hit all 10 yesterday, she's missed 2 out of 5 already. Guzik the same, and Guzik has that, well, historic result where she was the first female in Olympic history to hit 20 out of 20 in the individual race, the 15-kilometer race, and yet she missed 2 out of 5 first thing today. Domracheva in position. She's pulled time back. She's moved from 37th to 31st into the range. Well, look at that, she's missed 2 already. You've got to be, racing is a strange thing, biathlon is a strange thing. You need to be, your timing needs to be good, your reactions need to be excellent, of course. And just a little race rusty there, she's missed 2. Well, there's another little look at how it should be done. Kukalova took her time, but secured all 5 targets to continue leading this race. Well, Kukalova out on the track, expertly coming down the tough bend there, taking it quite narrow at the entrance to that bend. And as she left the range, she'd extended her lead, of course, on Dorana Bear and Mäkäräinen. They both missed 1, and she's got 44 and 45 seconds on those 2 athletes. Hammerschmidt, of course, in 2nd place now, having shot 5 out of 5. Well, I was just about to say that's the way to do it for the first 3, and then really surprised, very surprised, Chevalier took a very fast ball there and has lost some 15 seconds. Welcome back. Unfortunately, we were just looking at the very sharp corner, and in the far distance there, bib number 4, Anne Chevalier, she took a very fast ball. She was ahead of Dorothy Vera, and here's another opportunity. Got her line completely wrong. Her weight was way back, and that's a huge amount of time lost. Look at this. Dorothy Vera just having to be careful as she comes in at 65 kilometers an hour and very quickly passes Chevalier. Well, not only is pride hurt there, hopefully she's not hurt. I don't think she was, but mindset changes. You've just made a silly mistake, and look at Chevalier in the far distance. She's tense, she's panicky, she's desperately trying to make up for that mistake. And often you see athletes going into a kind of state of panic. Their race plans have been a little destroyed. She just needs to calm down and keep control, and I'm sure that is what she's trying to tell herself as she skis up to the 3.5 kilometers in this 10-kilometer race. So 10 kilometers, just a 2-kilometer loop or track. It's the same track every time, and after the first 2 kilometers, we saw them shooting prone position. They'll come in again this time. It'll be the prone position again. Another 2 kilometers for the standing, the first of the 2 standings. After the next 2 kilometers, which takes us up to 8, the final stand. In the men's race, I can tell you that only 7 out of the best 60 managed to hit all 5 stand targets on the last time of asking, when the race pressure builds up and continues to build. Look at the pace here. This is a chasing pack who are trying to close down the time. The very, very good time at the moment of Kukalova. She was in the perfect race zone yesterday. She looks like she's in the same place today. Still explosiveness through the lower leg, getting good transfer of weight from one ski to the other. And she really looks like she's in control of herself, of the whole of the race. Of course she is. She's leading by 45 seconds. Look at the tens of thousands of spectators. 24,000 this arena can hold, and then you've got the tracks. Huge numbers today. They love their biathlon. Kukalova came in at 13:22. She's unlikely to rush this because it worked well the last time, just taking her time, getting the breathing under control, steadying the rifle. That was edge to the left, but it was a hit. That's all that matters. That touched the edge on the left. I think she might miss one to the left because that was left as well. Oh, edge left. So accurate. Well done. Everything. Those 5 shots were within about a 12-millimeter circle diameter. Great shooting. And Vitek just saying he was delighted with that. She was fast, she was accurate, and she's going to continue the lead here today in Oberhof. Kukalova. You see Dorana Bear just blowing through the rear sight. There's little snowflakes falling, and sometimes they get into your sight. You need to clear that or you will not see down the sight. Dorana Bear, Makarainen shot for shot, no misses yet. Hammerschmidt has missed one, Makarainen 1 to go. Excellent job, they both missed 1 the last time. They both hit 5 this time. They're back in the race. And I think Hammerschmidt, yes, she'll turn to the right. Off she goes around the 150-meter penalty loop. So Dorana Bear and Makarainen, vastly experienced, back in the race. 38 seconds adrift. Well, Dorothy's magic, hitting the perfect 10 yesterday, has deserted her today. Now let's look at the flags. The flags there are 5 meters from the firing point. That's your best indicator. That's when the wind affects the trajectory the most. And then further down, 20 meters back from the target, are your next set of wind flags. You need to keep an eye on both as you come in, just to see what way the wind is swirling, if you need to adjust. Crawford, Rosanna Crawford, oh, she's missed the last shot. And she did well yesterday. She was one of the first to shoot the perfect score. And of course, yesterday, Crawford finished 21st. So ski speed a little off. And off she goes on to the penalty loop. Well, the German girls, the first of the Germans, of course, Hammerschmidt, still 4th position, missing that one shot. Hildebrand really moving forward. She was 17, she's now 7th. But look at the deficit, 142 behind. Another chance. The camera's desperately keen to follow the triple Olympic medalist from Sochi, Domracheva. She's coming in again. Smooth, easy on the skis. A lot has happened in her life since we last saw her racing. She had glandular fever 2 seasons ago. And then decided to take the season very light. She, of course, married Oleana Bjorndalen in the summer. And they had a baby, Zinnia, on the 1st of October. She's also launched a sports brand collection. So she has been a busy girl as well as training. So when she was at her best, or when she was into her racing top form, you would just see her dropping down into position, no messing about, 5 shots, rapid fire, and off out, and most often she'd hit. American fans watching, I can tell you, you may have seen it there, Dunkley has gone and missed 3 out of 5. Domracheva has missed her first 2. I don't think she'll be enjoying right now her return to biathlon. Painful when you're having to go around that penalty loop 2 times. No, another faller, fast. Well, 54, Nikolaisen, the Norwegian, I'm surprised. The chase is on here in Oberhof. Doranaber, Makarainen working to stride for stride to close the gap. And they're not really making an impression. In fact, they've lost 0.6 of a second from the shooting range to this point. They're trying, but it's not working. Their only hopes really are that Kukalova can miss some targets. In the stand, certainly, there is a real chance of that happening. Hammerschmidt still charging around the track, trying to close her time. Welcome back as we join the race. It's Hammerschmidt, of course, Maren Hammerschmidt, just moving into 4th position. She started 5th, and she's only missed 1 target. She's lost 1 second from the range to this point. So her ski speed is good, but it's not closing on Kukalova. Chevalier leading this group of 4. Then there's another chase group of 3. And of course, Chevalier fell the last time, or the first time down the steep curve, the steep corner. She was okay this time. Dorothy Vera, her ski speed wasn't great yesterday with respect. She was 47 seconds down, shooting this perfect score. Before Christmas, she would only be about 20 seconds behind Kukalova's ski time. Has Kukalova improved? Has Doraya Vera, I should say, a little off form? I think she is. There was a couple of setbacks over the Christmas break. A good chance here to look where the track goes. To our left, it's a descent, then a very steep climb, and straight up into the range. The wind along this straight here is very strong, 15 kilometers per hour in the stadium area. First of the 2 stand shoots for Kukalova. She's shown us nothing but composure, strength of mind to this point. Let's hope she can get the stand, and I'm not sure she'll get them all. Struggling with the breathing, just making sure she hasn't released too early. Oh, now that's going to affect her mindset. She tried to steady it, it missed. She's got the second. Opportunity for Makarainen, for Doranaber. They'll be aware that she's missed at least 1. as they come in. Oh, holding, her legs are cramping up. You're not allowed to shoot in the kneeling position, but she's back up. So the cramp in the legs, which happens when you're charging around the tracks. Great discipline, Kukalova, but she's allowed Dorana-Bear and Mäkäräinen to close a huge amount of time down. But they need to hit the targets. Oh, it's so tempting to try and shoot fast, but this little bit of wind is moving the rifle. Dorana-Bear, 5 out of 5. The chase is back on. And the next time around, there'll be even more pressure at the front. Well, it's all changed with Kukalova having to go round the penalty loop, and it's a new leader. Dorana-Bear has 5.5 seconds advantage, and Mäkäräinen also has to go round the penalty loop. All eyes on Hammerschmidt. It's not bad at all. Hammerschmidt has missed one prior to the first stand, so she's missed a total of 2 now. And Mäkäräinen will be disappointed. She did get the time down to 41 seconds the last time. I'm sure it'll be much the same. Well, it's 38, but it's on Dorana-Bear this time. So Mäkäräinen with the perfect score the next time. If either of the other two miss even one, she has a chance to win the race. Bad day for the Italian, Dorothy Vera. Very good day for Chevalier, even after that fall. Hildebrand, she tried so hard on the track to close the gaps down and came in, I think, a little over the top, a little exhausted. She missed 3. Haki, junior world champion. That was a good performance from the Swiss girl yesterday. 13th position, just 120 behind. Akimova, it's not happening today. She's missed 2, she's missed 3. The Russian closest to us, bib 14. 3 penalties. Well, the only positive she can take from that is those around her are missing targets as well. And some of them, just as many. Pigrushna, I thought she'd go well today, but the wind is putting her off, and Heunisch beside her, the pole, has missed 2 as well. Well, just to update you on the track, it's Dorana-Bear, Kukalova, Mäkäräinen, Hammerschmidt, you can see them there, Chevalier and Béchamp. This is an amazing French team in the making, mostly young and getting stronger and more experienced with each race. Well, I can tell you at 6.8 kilometers, the gap is close to 3.9. This was Gabi Kukalova just getting some discipline and recovering her legs to get the last shot. Welcome back to the closing stages here in Oberhof. I say the closing stages, 7.5 kilometers, 2.5 left with just that tricky little bit on the range, the final 5 shots in the stand position. Mäkäräinen is trying so hard to close this gap down. It's going away from her instead of getting closer. She was 33 seconds behind. Well, just a couple of seconds slower. And I can tell you, on the descent, the fast corner, Kukalova So nearly had a little tumble. She took the corner so wide. And Dorana Baer composed. Great skills. This is powerful, powerful skiing and a very strong tactic from Dorana Baer. She wants to create a gap so that there's no wind drafting advantage down this very windy straight here. You can see the flags blowing around in the background. And well done to Dorana Baer to try and achieve this strategy. She's had to work for it, but at least Kukalova's not tucked right in behind her and gaining the drafting advantage. Oh, it's a tough home straight. It really is. And slowly but surely, Dorana Baer is opening up the little gap. Now, she needs to make sure that she backs off just a little prior to the range. It's so easy to get carried away and go in at a much stronger pace than you really can handle to control the breathing. Jean-Paul dancing there to keep his feet warm, his cheeks warm, his fingers warm. So cold, -10, and a very strong wind. The chill factor is huge. I suppose an equivalent, I have got graphs somewhere, I think it's it adds about another equivalent, -5 degrees, so it's effectively about -15. The feeling in the wind here in Oberhof. Well, chasing just as the two up the front of the race come in for their final stand shoot. It's Dorana Baer, Kukalova, we can see them in picture. Mäkäräinen 35 behind. Hammerschmidt keeping the German hopes alive, and who knows, she may make the podium. Behind her is Chevalier, Béchon, great French day. And then Haki, Sanfilippo, who's moved from 16th to 8th. And Ulsbu from 24 to 9th. The best of the Norwegians. Last 5 shots in this race, then 2 further kilometers to ski. Look at the flags. Strong wind from the left. The only positive is that strong wind is consistent. Kukalova, first shot missed. She was struggling into the range. First shot also for Dorana Baer. It was her third. They're struggling to keep the breathing under control. Dorana Baer out first. Kukalova's missed another target. Well, opportunity now for Mäkäräinen to close this door, to certainly challenge for the silver medal, as Kukalova will head out and then turn right, as does Dorana Baer. Dorana Baer only 1 penalty, Kukalova 2. If Mäkäräinen gets all 5, she could still have a chance to win the race. But it needs to be faster than this. Oh, there's the first target missed. Her training base is Joensuu, Kontiolahti, where the World Championships were, Mäkäräinen, and it really is the strongest wind on the circuit most days. Oh, and I thought she'd be good at shooting in this strong wind. She's missed 2 as well. Now, if Hammerschmidt gets all 5, she can move and maybe challenge for the 3rd position. Not anymore. Well, you can hear the cheer, and as does Hammerschmidt, and so often the local crowds put their own athletes off. Oh, and I think that is exactly what happened there. Hammerschmidt missing 3, unusual opportunity. Chevalier. Well, so many. I mentioned earlier, only 7 of the men in the last shoot. They managed to hit 5 out of 5. 7 out of the best 60 in the world. And I think that's an indicator of how testing these conditions are. Béchon, come on, somebody give us 5 out of 5. Nobody's done it yet at the sharp end of this race in the final shoot. Who's going to be the first? Maybe Dorothy Vera, maybe her teammate Sanfilippo, who's really doing well today. Sanfilippo from 16th to 8th. It's good biathlon. Jima's doing well from 15th to 10th. And if Jima gets these, she could move from 15th up to the top 6. Because Haki missed, Béchon has missed. And now Jima has missed as well. So still no perfect shoots in the final time of asking. Jima missing 2, Sanfilippo 2, Dorothy Vera, well, She was the best of the crowd around the middle of the range. Razrina also missed one. Can Hildebrand cheer up this Oberhof stadium and give us 5 out of 5? Maybe she can. She will be the first. In fact, no, Vanessa Hintz. Now, I thought Vanessa Hintz, starting 34, 2 minutes behind. I really felt she was going to have a good one today, as Hildebrand only misses one. Those around her are missing 2s and 3s. Maybe Tang will be the first to get 5 out of 5 in the standing. The girl from China. One shot to go. She's taking an absolute age over that final shot, and she's missed it. So nobody as yet managing to get the perfect score. Durana Bear is a long way ahead of this race, leading Kukalova by 32 seconds last time I checked. This is where Kukalova nearly went over the edge last time. She's cut it much tighter this time. And a beautiful exit to that bend, still 32 seconds behind. It's looking very much like a French day in the women's race. And Durana Bear, that will lift her very close to the top in terms of World Cup ranking. Well, Durana Bear, when she senses there's a chance for a victory, she digs even deeper. And she's one of those athletes who are constantly taking herself to the limit, but she can bring this little bit of extra flair out. Mäkirainen desperately controlling her speed there. Well, she didn't need to worry because there's a full minute back to Hammerschmidt. So nobody chasing from behind, but she really wanted to make sure there that she was not going to fall. The legs, of course, are tired after just over 9 kilometers skied for Mäkirainen, coming up to the 9.5 here with Kukalova. Well, 2 days in Oberhof for Kukalova, 1 victory, and looking as if she's pretty much anchored in second place. Unlikely to fall or be delayed in the remaining 500 meters. So 2 very good days. And it's a tough program for the girls because tomorrow, over 12.5 kilometers, we are privileged to watch the first of the mass starts. That's going to be a cracker. A testing race in these windy conditions. But at least it's the same for all, because they'll be starting at exactly the same time. Only the best 30 in the field, World Cup rankings, and those on form at this venue will be taking part tomorrow. Durana Bear, it's almost a final lap of honour. She had such a lead after the last shoot. Jean-Paul Giacchino often shows some expression, but well, I suppose he's just accustomed to French victories. It's just another day of normal. Breathing a little sigh of relief, nobody in sight. And at last, Durana Bear has backed off. She normally keeps the pressure on to the end, but absolutely no need. All she wants is the victory to pick up those precious 60 points. What a cracking day for Durana Bear. Only 2 penalties, and that'll be one of the best shooting scores of the day. Job done. Kukalova, she has a huge following in the Czech Republic. She also married this summer. If you remember last year, she was Sukalova. Now she's Kukalova. Famous tennis player from the Czech Republic, her husband. And of course, Kukalova, top-class singer, top-class biathlete. She's got the looks, she's great. Her biathlon is going so well, and she really is in the chase now for the yellow bib. In fact, of course, Kukalova picking up 54 points today. By my calculations, that may well put Kukalova in yellow for tomorrow. Dahlmeier not here, so no points for Dahlmeier yesterday, no points for her again today. Of course, Dahlmeier was the early season champion with 3 wins, and 1 second. Mäkäräinen, the Finn, slowing down a little on the last lap, and it was all about her shooting again today. She missed 4, Kukalova missed 3, Dorana Bear missed only 2 times around the penalty loop. Hammerschmidt missing 5 targets. Well, her ski speed is good. The German hopes were all on her shoulders, and unfortunately, not quite a podium, but close. And well, listen to the cheer. They're not unhappy. They would have loved a podium, but they'll settle for a 4th position. Big chase on behind Hammerschmidt. I believe that's it is Anish Bichon. And Vanessa Hintz coming into the home straight from 34th. She's going to be moving into what? 6th position. That's outstanding. Vanessa Hintz, look at that. The respect from the field here. What a performance. Only missing 2 targets. She's really dug deep into her ski form to bring that one out of the bag. By my calculations, it's the 2nd fastest time overall today. So well done, Vanessa Hintz. Ulsbu, that's another good performance. Ulsbu from 24 to 7. Dorothy Vera went the other way, from 6th down to 8th. Chevalier, we saw her fall. Didn't affect the rifle, I was surprised. It was quite a tumble. But Chevalier missing 4 in total. So 3s and 4s and 5s are about the average shooting today. Hildebrand gliding across the line, 3 minutes behind, and she's also missed 4 targets. Well, I didn't manage to keep up with Domracheva. We saw her missing 2 and then 2 again as Slurf and Jima and Birkeland crossed the line. And I'm just wondering, I can't quite see where Domracheva is in the field. Wondering if she pulled out. I know that we have had a withdrawal, and that's Pigrushna, the 29-year-old. In fact, she's 30 on Monday, Pigrushna. Maybe she just thought it went so bad on the range that she'll pull out and try again tomorrow in the mass start. Crawford, Grigorin, well done Grigorin. Gusner has won here in the sprint competition, but that was back in 2013. Since then, she's had a very bad back injury and many months in hospital, and she's never really come back with her best ski form. I hope she can find that again soon. 24th yesterday was good though. Well, I say 24th. Yesterday she was 26th and has moved up to 24th. Akimova thought she might go well today. Normally she shoots well in windy conditions, but she's dropped from 14th to 32nd. Well, tomorrow, as the race comes to a close, the men's and the women's mass start competitions, and they're always brilliant. Nova Mesto, we saw, of course, the spectacle of the mass starts, and that went down well. Very well indeed. And of course, it was Kukalova who took it at home under the greatest of pressure just before Christmas. And Dorana Bear, that's her celebrating and acknowledging the spectators. Well, job done again for the French team, and it was done very well. Dorana Bear with the win, Bichon with a 5th position, and Chevalier 9th position. But we're just going to take a final break here and see you back in a minute.
Stadion fällt für uns kaum durch die Siegerpräsentation noch ein. Hervorragend. Das wird noch eine tolle Geschichte. Und dann geht es noch in die Feste.
Well, the action over for the day here in Oberhof, and the beer tents will be busy. All these spectators will need to warm up. The athletes will go for a warm down, believe it or not. They'll do a couple of kilometres on the track or a jog back to the hotels. Mäkäräinen, so much at stake today. She didn't put it together as best she could, or as best as the best on the range.